Life is a collection of moments. Sometimes we can weave these moments together to make stories. Sometimes these stories weave their way into our hearts, spirits, and souls. Sometimes they live somewhere beyond us. Flashback. I was 16. He picked me up in a vintage white BMW. As we drove down Spadina Avenue to Lake Ontario, I found out it was stolen. He drove through a red light, and I thought I might die. In that moment, I felt terror without fear, and had never felt so fully alive. In that moment, to me, he was the most powerful person in the world. He had the power to set me free. Fast forward. I was 18. He called to tell me he had stolen a car and discovered it had a trunk full of drugs. He wanted to get high and drive to Niagara Falls together. At that point, his power over me had begun to dissipate. He would not determine my fate. I didn't go. He didn't make it far before he was arrested. He wrote me letters from jail, stories about our future, dreams. I was in university, and he was a chapter in my past. Fast forward, I was 21. From 500 miles away, I heard the news that he had been shot by the police. I read the words that were being used by the media to tell his story. Aboriginal, mentally ill, psychotic episode, homeless. Professional storytellers using provocative identifiers to craft a compelling and tragic narrative for the evening news. I couldn't live with that abrupt ending. It felt senseless, but not random. I entered the field of child and youth mental health, driven to do all I could do to prevent such tragedies. I needed to reclaim some part of that narrative, to reclaim power for myself and for him. I think about him every single day, but as a practitioner, I don't feel that there's a space for that part of me in my work. We are professionals with standards, ethics, codes of conduct. Does this mean that we must present as neutral and passionless? Does this mean that in order to reclaim power, to be in a seat of change, we must marginalize our own hearts? Sometimes we choose which moments are woven in. Sometimes some moments must sit outside of the story, but they stay within us and they live on in the stars, guiding lights, beacons for the heart.